Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel here, and yeah, I'm making another video in the same month. That's a new record, at least for the past few years, since I've been making videos again since, what was it, 2023 now? Like, damn, like, I know I took quite a break, but having a video back-to-back in a span of less than 6 months, that's a record for me now, nowadays. I'm here today because I played the Sonic CrossWorlds racing beta, if you want to call it that, or Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. And again, this is also not scripted, just like the last video, which I gotta say thank you for the support for that video, because it did extremely well, and I was not expecting that whatsoever. I was expecting like a couple hundred views, and that was about it. But no, that video just, for my channel at least, just popped off, and I just want to say thank you. I have notes to explain myself about how Sonic the racing beta was, and hopefully we can talk about it, because I do want to talk about it. I'm just going to give my initial thoughts about how the beta performed and how the internet connectivity was. I didn't have many issues with the internet when it comes to the gameplay and stuff. But before I do, I just want to say that this video is uploaded on my fake birthday. I say fake because I don't really have a birthday this year, unlike most years. My birthday only comes every 4 years, but that was last year, so this year it is apparently on my fake birthday, which is the 28th instead of the 29th of February. So happy birthday to me, I guess? I don't know. I've only done birthday videos like maybe twice on the channel, but yeah, happy birthday to me, I guess. But anyway, let's continue on with the video. First and foremost, there was no extreme gear when it comes to the beta of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, and everyone in my friend group was kind of sad because we wanted to play the extreme gear, which there was one locked piece of gear that was just, or card, was just not accessible in the beta, and I'm thinking that is the extreme gear, and I think they're gonna try to do another test later in the future. So I don't know when. They haven't really given us a release date when it comes to the betas, but I assume it's going to be like within a month, maybe 2 months, if that. But yeah, I got fortunate to experience the beta at least, so I want to thank Sega for that, first off. But I was extremely sad that there was no pun. There's no extreme gear in it, and you know what? I guess it makes sense. Everyone wants to try out the cards, the racing, how it performs and stuff. But that was my first thing that I noticed about the beta, that there was no extreme gear, and it made everyone sad in my friend group. Let's talk about the real issue. This game is fucking chaotic. It is insane. Like the first race, I was like prepared mentally that this game is gonna perform just like the previous racing games. You know, Sega All-Stars Racing, Racing Transformed, Team Sonic Racing, even at that, because they performed even similar to that. No, none of those games mattered. This game is very, very chaotic. There's so much going on in like the moment it starts, and it is fucking nuts. Like, items are just appearing left and right. You're getting hit like bumper cars. It is insane. It's like, I want to compare it to Crash Team Racing, the one on PS1 and stuff, especially with how the drifting works. That just reminded me of Crash right there. I can tell that the inspiration's there, and a lot of my friends are even saying that this is also reminiscent to like F-Zero. I haven't played F-Zero. I only played a little bit on, you know, the Super Nintendo, which was on like the Switch Online. Didn't really experience a whole lot of that before playing the beta, but I want to say, yeah, I kind of see that. I have to play F-Zero a lot more, but they were saying it is a lot like that, and wow, like, the game is fucking fun, don't get me wrong, but it is so, you just cannot breathe. You have to be on your toes, like, 24/7, like, if you're just gonna try to focus, and you have to lock in, basically. It's crazy. And the fact that it's so crazy is just, like, it's so refreshing when it comes to playing this game in the first place, because other racing games, it's just like, yeah, the game is fun, but I feel like you could be doing more, especially the fact that I'm like a Mario Kart veteran, and I always, well, not always, but most of the time I get first place. And there are times where I'm just like, dang, like, getting kind of boring sometimes, but here it's just like, no, even if you're in first place within like one entire lap, that can just be instantly taken away. So that's what I like about, you know, the beta and CrossWorlds. Is just, it's, you just don't know what happened. Not every race will be the same, and it shows, and there's so much going on, but it is also so fun at the same time. It's just, you want to keep playing, and I haven't felt that within a racing game in so long, so thank you, Sega. It was so fun, man. Like, I don't even think writers gave me that sheer rush of adrenaline when it comes to this game, because this game is so fun. It is so chaotic. Just, I can't wait for everyone to play this game. like I said, I think the game is sort of based off Crash Team Racing in a sense, especially with the drifting. When it comes to like how the meter is and you have to like let go, like not exactly the same, but it kind of reminds me of that, especially how the UI works. Yeah, I see a lot of similarities when it comes to Crash, and I just want to point that out there. Another thing is, I didn't know that the game was based off of Unreal Engine. I think it's Unreal Engine 4, I don't think it's 5. Only because I didn't see a whole lot of slowdown. Like the only slowdown I really saw was probably in the menus, and that was like maybe a split second. I think it's only because like when you are in there, you're just changing carts, and I think that's like the only slowdown I really saw. Everything else just it worked just fine. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the items. The items are fucking insane. They're my most hated ones are definitely the slicer and the fucking truck. Those things are just abysmal just to deal with. I I get hit by the slicer so many times. Even the weight one, that is just so stupid because you can literally just get hit by any of them at a certain point and you can just get comboed, and I think that is a major balancing issue. And I know I'm kind of be like, it's a beta, you're supposed to expect something unbalanced, and yeah, it is unbalanced, and that's why I'm kind of complaining, like, okay, there's too much of that. Like, if there's a way to tone it down, please, before the game is actually released. Even some of my friends in my friend group were even talking about the slicers and the truck, especially when you get the gadgets for, you know, actually getting the items over and over again, especially like you have the attack, the defense, or even boost, and you can get those items over and over again, and I think everyone's having the attack. I didn't. I have too much pride with the fucking drifting and the speed tricks. Like, I gotta have my speed tricks from Riders. Like, I just gotta have that. Not to mention the fact that the items actually respawn as soon as, like, someone gets them. So if you're, like, right behind a person, it'll just instantly respawn and then you'll get the item, which I don't have a problem with that. The only problem is this, like, again, these items keep spawning at a high rate, and it's causing a lot of like fucking chaos, and that causes the race to be so chaotic, which I do love, but the items need to just be toned down somewhat. And I hardly ever see like the drill. I haven't really gotten the drill. I haven't seen that a whole lot. I do get a wisp and yacker. I get that every now and then, but most of the time I just saw the truck, the weight, and the slicer. And sometimes I saw like the ink thing, and that is pretty stupid to deal with. It's nothing like Mario Kart at all. The ink one is probably the worst one because I can just get hit by that and run into a wall, and then it's over for me. Like I cannot escape it. So another thing I want to talk about is the car customization, and it's all right. I'm not too crazy about it. I was trying different combinations with speed, most of it. I tried a little bit of the handling, if I remember correctly. I don't know, those cars just didn't feel right with me. I went back to speed, and I tried a little bit of different combinations with that one, and that felt right to me, at least. Like, I don't know, the handling just felt kind of weird. I think it was too slow, but the handling, it's all right. Acceleration, that didn't really do anything for me. I'm sorry. I didn't even try power. I don't want to be slow. Like that's like the last thing I want to be. I want to go fast. Oh, bruh. I literally just recorded like maybe 20 minutes of extra audio, and it didn't fucking get it. I'm fucking pissed. Oh, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? All right, take two, I guess. So my main cart was just the speed type. I didn't really care for the acceleration or the handling. I didn't care for those. I don't know which one it was, but one of them looked like a fucking Honda Civic, if you actually know what customization I'm talking about. Yeah, that is so crazy that it looks almost identical to that. I don't know if there's a collab, about to happen with the game, but it looked so fucking goofy. What were they thinking when it comes to that? I don't know. That had to be on purpose. Next up, I want to talk about is the gadgets, which I think it's a lot more important than it comes to like the cart customization in total. Which, don't get me wrong, that is also important, but I think the gadgets are kind of more important. I only say that because, why is the speed trick a gadget? Why do I have to be slow when it comes to tricks? Like, why? That is a must. That's a need for me and, my friends as well, because they also agree that the speed trick is a need. It is not a want. It is a need because you just go crazy when it comes to these tricks. It is like the Sonic Generations trick system with like the Sonic Riders trick system. that is a need. I don't know why that isn't just like an automatic thing. I guess just for some control, because boosting is also very important when it comes to being tactical in this game. That is probably the only thing I can think of as to why they did that, because you get a lot of boost from just doing tricks alone. And besides that, everything else, to me at least, was like a free option. Like, I would experiment when it comes to like the gadgets. Like, I can do like drifting combos, or focus on my rings, like getting hit by enemies, or boosting you can get rings by, or obtaining double the amount of rings, or just having double the max amount of rings, like you can get 200 instead of 100. That's also an option. However, when it comes to gadgets, you actually get 6 slots instead of like whatever number you had when you first played the beta. I'm guessing you had like 2 or 3. I can't remember. Like I said, this is not scripted. This is all based off memory and fucking notes. You see, gadgets can really make or break your race when it comes to, any combo that you have. Like I said, for me, I need the speedy trick system. Like, I need that. Without it, I feel useless and slow when it comes to actually like doing tricks, because most of the time you are going to be doing tricks, especially on Water Palace, because you can just drift and jump, keep doing tricks over and over, and then you'll just keep going. Like, you'll blast through Sonic speed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but you get what I mean. There's a lot of room for experimentation here when it comes to gadgets alone, because I was really focusing on which one worked for me the best when it came to like all the races. And, I did terrible in some, I did great in a few others. It all really depends on how your playstyle is compared to everybody else. Now, the actual beta itself, when it comes to like connectivity, was I having any issues? Yeah, I was, but that's just because it's a beta, and that's expected. I'm not gonna be blaming like, oh, it's supposed to be perfect or anything like that. No, it's a beta. Like, we don't even know what the release date is for this game, so we're lucky to even play the game, because sometimes you're gonna have that issue even with the final release. It's gonna happen. The errors that I really got were very minor. Like, sometimes I would be in a race and I get the error code, like, oh, it's an error, go back to the main menu. Or before the race even started, I got an error, or just trying to search up for a lobby, I got an error. But those were far few in between. Let's say that you get kicked out, right, of an error, you can go back in within like a few seconds. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it sucks, but really, if you're gonna get back in there like less than 30 seconds, I don't really see a big issue with that. And of course, the game is still being in development and so forth. You're gonna be experiencing some glitches, I'll tell you that. And yeah, I experienced a few glitches, and so did my friends, and nothing to write home about. It's gonna happen. Even though it's in beta, I had a lot of fun with it, but there is one major issue, or a few major issues I should say, is the music. I don't know what to say about the music, because it was so hard to hear, because the audio mixing is pretty bad when it comes to like actual races. I can't hear the tracks. I can't hear it. Like, the only ones I can really remember hearing is a little bit of Middle Harbor, and that's only at the very beginning of the race. And Middle Roulette Road, when you get to travel to Roulette Road, and only then, it's in the middle of the fucking track of Roulette Road. And then, not to mention that some of the songs are not even like based off the stages anymore. Like, they're completely new. They have no connectivity to the actual stages. But unlike the music tracks, the one that was really memorable was the fucking menu theme. And honestly, I got tired of that menu theme. I think it's kind of annoying now. I'm sorry. When you hear it over and over again within the span of 20 seconds, because it loops. It loops within 20 seconds. Yeah, it gets kind of annoying, because that's like the only thing you're going to be fucking hearing the whole time. And just like, oh god, please pick a different song. Please let us pick different songs on the main menu at least. Oh, right. Back to the actual tracks itself. Not music tracks, the race tracks. And honestly, these are so good. I love these race tracks. There is a few little issues I like to say about like drifting itself, because sometimes drifting, you're gonna get hit to the wall a lot. And even when you are just drifting normally, the only way that you can really avoid some of these walls is if you let go of the like acceleration button, which is like the X button on the PlayStation controller. That was really the only way you could avoid some of these walls, especially on Water Palace. When you take that left turn, when you're in the boat section, yeah, you're always gonna hit that wall like 80% of the fucking time. That can be an issue for a lot of people, but I think you can remedy that by just kind of letting go of the acceleration button at least, or just tap it just by a little bit, because that's what I fucking learned from Mario Kart 8. I've learned that with 200cc, and it sort of worked here in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. It didn't work 100% because I did still get hit by fucking walls, but what can you do? I mean, it is what it is. But besides that, the racetracks were so colorful. They're fun to travel through. They're about as long as a Sonic stage, and that's about 3 minutes. And that is so true to, you know, the other Sonic games. These racetracks are right size of, you know, racetracks. They're not too long, they're not too small, they're perfect. I think they're fucking perfect when it comes to length. They're so fun to travel through. I don't really have much to say other than I just had a great time with the beta. I did meet a few Sonic tubers when it comes to the racetracks itself. I can only remember a few on the top of my head. I didn't write them down, obviously, but if I remember correctly, I did see Boyle Voices, which was a name I was really not expecting. I haven't heard that name since like 2013, so Boyle, if you're watching this video for some reason, hi. I like that McDonald's video for Big Ben. I liked that a while ago. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but I'm moving on. Of course, I did see Nokai. I did see him. G-Dub A, I've seen him as well on the racetrack, and actually in that same race, to be in fact. I did see Stickman Guides. Of course, I ran into PK Sparks. I haven't raced the dude since like Kobe's stream back in like, what was it, 2011 or 2012? Dear God, that was like so long ago by my standards. Jeez, that I think that was before Transformed came out. PK, if you're watching this, hi. It was great racing you again after all these years. It was an honor. And if I missed anybody else, I apologize. Again, I did not write any of you down whatsoever. I'm just going off memory and I'm going off some notes here. But the main people that I really want to talk about racing in the beta was, of course, my friends Jaden and Kingdom Ace. And of course, I did see another Sonic tuber. He goes by Speeder Light. Speeder, if you're watching this video, it was an honor racing against you the most out of even my friends. Or maybe it was the same. I don't recall. I had a bunch of fun races with my friends, with Speeder. I just had an overall great time when it comes to the beta. Thank you for, you know, racing with me, Jaden, Kingdom Ace, and Speeder. Thank you so much for racing against me, and I'm sorry if I played a little bit dirty. I just that was a habit from Mario Kart 8. I apologize. So yeah, that's basically my initial thoughts when it comes to the CrossWorlds beta, and man, what a fucking blast, man. I had such a great time when it came to this game. When the servers went down, man, that was so heartbreaking. I saw everyone on Twitter like become like really happy 1 minute and then the next just depression. The moment the servers went down, I was just like, wow, you woke up from like a fever dream, you know, euphoria or something like that. It's just, it was a blast to play with everybody. I want to first off say thank you for watching this video, but it's not over yet, but don't worry. Second thing I want to thank you all for, if you did participate in the beta and you raced against me, I want to say thank you for playing the beta with me and everybody else, because man, it was so fun. Third, I want to thank Sega for inviting me into the beta itself. I know it was a sign up thing, but you know, your boy still got chosen. Yeah, again, thank you, Sega, for allowing me to talk about Sonic CrossWorlds and letting me and other people that got invited to play and share your experiences. And I did see that everyone, including myself, got an email about valuable feedback if you did get selected. And I will definitely go ahead and now definitely write down what I truly want to be changed the most, and it's the tone down the fucking items, please. I just need this game to come back, man, because man, that game was so fun. I don't know how else to explain how much fun I actually had within the beta. It was so good, dude. There is one thing I want to talk about before I end up this video, and it's the fact that a glitch happened, and it's not your typical ordinary glitch, apparently. I've only seen one other person that it's happened to on social media. I haven't seen anybody else talk about it, which was insane. I've seen one other person's video that happened to them. I was not expecting it to happen to me again in a different Sonic racing game.
Flashback.
That map is beautiful.
Whoa!
Oh, wait,
Whoa!
Blue's Castle.
Whoa! I got boosted!
Whoa! I saw you!
I got boosted!